And it goes a little something like
if there's anything that I might not cover, and if you guys have any questions, please comment them down below. And if they're asked very frequently, I'll definitely do a part 2 to this video. Hey guys, it's your girl Destiny, if you didn't already know. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite ways to make money, and that is Rover. Rover is a dog sitting, dog walking, and dog boarding app. In this video, I will explain what services Rover provides and how to be the best sitter possible. Before we start this video, I would like to remind you to please subscribe and hit that notification bell right next to it so you get notified every single time that I upload. I also have a referral link at the end of the video. If you are interested in becoming a Rover dog sitter, please use my referral link and I will help you step by step setting up your profile, okay? All you have to do is follow me on my Instagram and shoot me a DM, and I promise you I will give you my undivided attention and help you set up your profile. It's honestly very simple, very easy, but if you do have questions, go ahead and shoot me that DM, okay? First, your profile has to be very eye-catching. I will show you my profile and what my bio says. I will also show you the services that I provide and the rates. And I will also show you my reviews that my clients have left me, so you know that I'm not just full of myself and that I really am the best Rover sitter. Okay, I honestly take pride in this job, okay? Because that's what it is. It's a job. It provides me very good money, and honestly, it's so easy, especially if you love dogs. Currently, right now, I am house sitting. They are asleep. House sitting is when you go to your client's house and you stay over the night for whatever period of time and make sure you are with the dogs. So you are in charge of feeding them, taking them out, and of course, watching over them and making sure that they don't get into anything and ruin the house. So I'll first go over exactly how house sitting works. The client always wants to meet. So I would set up the date a couple of days before you actually have to go. That way they have time to just discuss everything with you. Here are 7 questions that I want you to ask whenever you do meet your client for the first time. 1, what time would you like me here? 2, access inside the house. 3, what is their feeding schedule like? 4, do they take any medications? 5, what time would you like me to leave? 6, are they allowed to sleep with me on the bed or in the same room as me? 7, whenever I do need to leave during the day, if I need to go do anything, what is the protocol for that? Some clients like me to leave them in one room. Most of the time, the dogs are free to do whatever they want. Oh, sorry, 8 questions. I also ask if they need to be walked. So whenever you do walk them, you have to make sure they don't get into anything, that they're not smelling where they're supposed to, like kind of keep them on a shorter leash, just so you can monitor them a lot better, because if they did get into something that was dead on the road, like roadkill, they could possibly get poisoned and possibly die. Okay, so please at all times make sure you are watching them. Which leads me to bathroom routines. So this house, they're actually fixing it up, so the fence is broken from the backyard. So whenever I do take these dogs out, I need to make sure they are on a leash. But, you know, that's just in this case. But I still want to recommend you, whenever you let them outside to use the restroom, that you are watching them. You have full supervision, because there could be like a poisonous frog that they might bite, or just, I don't know, the worst case scenario, they run out and then it's on your hands. So just please be sure to be supervising them at all times. These dogs that I'm sitting right now free eat, which means that they just have food and water in their bowl at all times, and whenever it goes low, I can just go ahead and fill it up again. If they do have a schedule, please be sure to stick to the schedule. And also I want to recommend you to send so many pictures, okay? I know that you might feel annoying, like just constantly sending them, but I promise you, your client's going to love it. You gotta send them pictures of them sleeping, send them pictures when you're outside with them, send them pictures when they're eating. Just let them know about their well-being and give them that peace of mind, okay? I tell my clients that they could either text me through the Rover, because you do have your own number through the Rover app, but I give my personal number to my clients so that they feel free to text or call me whenever they like. I am very open with my clients. They could ask me any questions that they like. They can keep me here as long as they like. I do the most for my clients. Whenever you do get interviewed with them, they will show you where they sleep and what room you'll be sleeping in. So make sure to stick to the room that they want you to sleep in. I personally, I don't know if you guys if you're into either eating out or you want to eat here, I do ask if I can use their kitchen. Most of the time it's no problem. Sometimes I don't want to dirty any of the dishes, but since this sit is for an entire week, I don't want to eat out for the entire week. So I'm probably gonna have to do some grocery shoppings for the week and cook here, which leads me to my next big, crucial thing when you are house sitting, okay? You have to leave this house cleaner than when you found it, okay? That means washing the dishes, taking out the trash, making sure there's no pee or poop in any of the rooms, and making sure the dogs are cleaned. Like if they make sure to take out their eye boogers, if their paws are dirty, make sure just, kind of wipe them off. Their ears can get dirty. If they're a dog that sheds a lot, and maybe you want to brush them every other day. If there is a lot of fur on the couches, you might want to just, kind of get a lint roller or just make sure that it's really good, okay? Do not be that person that stays in another person's home and leaves it a mess, okay? Because when they come back from wherever they are at, they want to come home to a clean house, okay? I do have a German Shepherd, if you don't already know this from my other videos. One time when I asked for a Rover to come see my dog tore up my 2-inch foam mattress. And when I got home, she didn't even pick it up, which was really shocking because she was one of the highest rates on Rover and supposedly was a veterinarian, and she didn't even bother picking up all of the foam pieces. I don't think that's cool. So just make sure you're picking up after your dogs. It's your job. You have one job. And it's to watch over them and clean up after them, okay? Plus, they will leave you a good review. I think one of my reviews said that I left it cleaner than when they left. So that's an awesome review to have, I pretty much cleared up all the house rules for when you stay here. I want to say that whenever you do enter the house, you must close the door right behind you and try your best not to let the dogs out. Of course, the dogs are gonna bark at you. Don't worry, as soon as you give them a treat or you show them their leash, they will eventually warm up to you. I have never had a bad experience with a Rover dog, such like biting or aggressiveness. I'm lucky in that department. If you do have any issues with that, there is a Rover Hotline number that you can contact through the app, and you can go through that process if anything were to happen, okay? I personally don't know what it's like to go through that process because I've never had to do it, thankfully. Now I'm gonna go on to dog boarding. Dog boarding is when a dog goes to your house and you care for them at your house, and if you have dogs, you do have to list them on the Rover app, and you should let the client know before dropping off the dog, hey, do they get along with dogs? Do they get along with cats? And if so, is that okay? Do they have all the shots they're supposed to, okay? Personally, I do not get a lot of dog boarding because I live in an apartment, and I feel like clients would prefer them to be in houses, and that way they can have access to a backyard. So personally, I do not do a lot of dog boarding. But if you can provide that service, that is very great money. I make most of my money on house sitting. So when you are dog boarding, again, lots of pictures, stick to their feeding schedule, Ask them how often they need to be taken out. If it's every 3 hours, every 2 hours, every 5 hours. Make sure you get that time frame from your client. If you are dog boarding, make sure you have a designated bed for them. If you don't, please ask the owner to bring their own bed. If you are having to leave, make sure you do go over that with your client. Like, hey, if I need to leave, do I put them in the kennel? Do they get into shoes? Do they like to buy shoes? Do they like to buy cushions? Just ask like what to look out for when sitting your dog. I feel like that's pretty much it. There is an option to do drop-in visits. Drop-in visits can be from 30 minutes to an hour, and that's basically you going to a client's house and they're probably at work or they are out or whatever, and they need you to let their dog out and give them some playtime. When you arrive at the house, the app will ask you to start the visit, and you start the visit as soon as you are inside the house. Not when you pull up, not when you're down the street, not when you're leaving, of course. You have to start it as soon as you enter into the home. Start it and you are timed. And it's also going to ask you to take a picture to show that you were there. Then it's going to ask you how many times they peed, how many times they pooped, how many times they drank their water, how many times they ate. If you do need to feed them during the drop-in visit, your client should tell you, but maybe if they don't, you should ask. So drop-in visits, you let them out, you let them do the business, and then you bring them in and you give them some playtime. Ooh, let me put this up. Sorry guys, my tripod is falling. You need to make sure you are there for the whole time. It's not that hard, guys, honestly. You're with dogs. I'm with dogs all day. Like, how amazing is that? Now going for dog walk. I do have a repeated client from Monday through Friday at 7:30. This really big dog who's probably my most difficult dog. I mean, now we're getting used to each other. She is like 10 months and she's huge. So she is a lot to handle. So I just want to say that if you feel like you cannot handle a dog, it's better to lose that client than get a bad reputation on Rover. If you feel like you cannot do it, please do not risk it, because again, that is somebody's dog, that is somebody's baby, okay? So please, please, please do, if you don't feel confident, don't do it, okay? But this one dog that I walk is a handful, and thankfully my boyfriend comes with me for every single walk, so we as a team are able to control her. Also, if you're going to bring anybody with you during the dog visits, I would make sure that it's okay with your clients. Most of the time they tell me that I'm able to bring a friend here. I personally don't, mainly because the city that I live in, I don't have any friends. But besides that, I just feel like I don't want to seem like I'm taking advantage of them, you know, by bringing friends here and stuff like that. So that's personally just me. If you do build a relationship with your clients over time, maybe they will feel comfortable with you just kind of letting people come over. But again, that's up to your clients, not you. Anyways, back to the fucking dog walking. So dog walking is very similar to dog visits when it comes to working the app. You will start your dog walk when you get there. Sometimes the owner is already home, so they will give you the dog and you can start the walk. Okay, I had to change to a different camera because the other one was full of memory. So now I'm recording through a different camera. Anyways, sorry for the awkward angle. So you start your dog walking as soon as you have the dog on the leash and you're out the door. Sometimes owners will be home, so they will just hand you over the dog and you can go ahead and start the walk then. Dog walks can be from 30 minutes to an hour, and it tracks your every single move. As soon as you start, it starts tracking you, and it tells you how far you were, like in miles, and of course, your time. So if the client is home, make sure you give them back as soon as the time is done. It will also ask you again how many times they pooped, how many times they peed, how many times they ate, and if they drank any water. Sorry, I forgot to give you guys a big tip when you guys are doing hour-long walks. I asked my client to leave a bowl of water outside. That way we can stop and make sure the dog is hydrated. When you are dog walking, you need to make sure that they aren't getting into anything, that they're not smelling dead roadkill, because if it's poisonous, it could affect you, and that would be very, very, very bad, okay? You need to make sure you're holding on to them very tight, and if you cannot control the dog, please be sure to tell the owner that you weren't fit to care for the dog, okay? It's very important that you don't risk it, because these are people's babies, okay? So please, please, please be careful when you do control them. You can set your preference. So if you feel like you can't walk a dog over 100 pounds, you can set your preference on the app. And if you only want to walk little dogs, then you can only walk little dogs, which is awesome, okay? And whenever you return the dog to the owner or to their home, you can go ahead and stop the app, and it's also going to ask you to send pictures. So make sure you're taking a lot of pictures whenever you are walking. I say dog walks. If it's a 30-minute walk, I send them about 3 pictures. If it's an hour, I put 4 pictures. Just make sure you send them a picture, and picking up after the poop, because you don't want to be known as a dog walker that doesn't pick up the poop, okay? Because the neighbors are watching, I promise you. One time I didn't pick up a dog poop, and the neighbor told the client, and the client was like, hey, like, my neighbors are saying that you're picking up the poop. So I was like, dang it. So make sure you guys aren't being lazy about that either. Rover has honestly been so much fun, and it's been very easy money, and I'm growing an awesome relationship with my clients. I'm constantly getting booked. I've been so busy, and you can always change your rates. If you want to start off with a low rate, get those clients, get those repeated clients, make sure your profile looks good, and then slowly start raising up your rates, because the more experienced you are, the better you do. Whenever you see a client, I should not have to say this, don't be rude, don't cuss in front of them, be the sweetest, most cutest dog walker they've ever seen. That's my mentality, honestly, and it's gotten me a very far way. Just be polite, be respectful, and send them a lot of pictures. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. I hope it was very informational. I will do a part 2 if I need to, so if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Bye!
And it goes a little something like